All right, YouTube, I am putting up another video. My camera angle doesn't change much, but you know, what I get in these boxes certainly does. Last video was just a ton of silver dollars, and on this one, I'm not exactly sure, but I think we have a pretty good mix here. So we got an online auction again, winnings. Most of my stuff is from that. Some eBay, very rarely. Mostly third-party auction houses across the country that have estate sales, things of that nature. Just watch out for them when they advertise, get on their mailing lists, things like that. And just kind of keep an eye out for coin auctions. And I buy a bunch of stuff from these people. So this starts out with pennies. I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera around for you guys to be able to see this. 09, 2, 3, 4, 5, the entire top row, and the other one all 09 Lincoln cents. Then 2010s, and I'm trying to see, there might be a mint mark on one of those. A 1910. And 1911, there's another 5, 6 of those, and then a 16D, a couple of like 4 17s, an 18, another 18, 3 more 18s, a bunch of 19s, 19S's, 20s, all a penny collection here is what this looks like. So this is guys, it just goes on and on. 40s, 42, and you can see some of the, I mean, you know, 20, 25 cents a piece he paid for these things, and then stops right there with the steel cent in 43. Pretty awesome stuff. Anyway, very cool. I like buying entire collections like that. Sometimes you get some gems in there. So let's see here. I'm gonna unbox this. And what do we have? Next. So there's just a stack of silver coins. So guys, we have a 1917, clearly visible date, good shape, no mint mark. Another 1917, beautifully toned. It's almost got like a, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but it's almost got like a bullseye rainbow tone on it. I mean, it's just absolutely just gorgeous. Huh. Amazing. Looks like both sides. Yeah. Like purplish green. No mint mark on this one, but it actually is in pretty good, well, it's actually kind of warm, but you know, you see still a lot of detail, and the date is very sharp. The rims sharp. These are attached to a rubber band, so just start taking these out one by one. There is a 25. Pretty good shape. Is there a mint mark? There is not. 29 with a hole up by the Liberty. And on that side, same thing. That might be a hole all the way through. Is that a repair? I'm not quite sure. Maybe it wraps around. I'll have to pull that out and take a look. 28. These are all in, you know, fairly circulated condition, guys. But, you know, there's about $3 in silver in each one of these coins. 10 of these standing liberties. So, 16D. And it's in pretty good shape. It says G to VG. I don't know. And that's a 16D, all right. So there's 16D. There's another one, G plus. I don't know what trend means. It says 350 on this. That's probably close to melt value. 1899. Not in bad shape. 1902. 1909. Bent rim bump, good. Okay, well, We'll see. I mean, it's all silver to me. 09. Bent Rough Dog. Yeah, that is. Wow, that is a rough coin, right? But I will throw that in the junk silver drawer, you know, and that's an 09S. We'll see if that's like a rare date or something. Maybe put it up for sale if it is. But for the most part, you know, you're just throwing those in the drawer, you know, kind of the junk drawer, the closet drawer, whatever it is, the cigar box, right? And someday when you're a grandfather, you know, your kids find it and realize what Grandpa was up to and enjoy it in his day. Anyway, 1915D, 1912, 1911, 1908, and that is an O mint mark. We'll see on that one. I don't know if I have that. And there's the 1908D. It is that a D or an O? That is a D. No mint mark here. That's the 09. There's an O mint mark on this one. 1908O again. Pretty worn. Good filler for somebody if they don't have that in their collection. There's another 1908. And there is a 1907. No mint mark. There's an 1898. You know, the face is pretty worn, but you can still make out some of the stuff. It's 2/3. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to look that up, see if that's some sort of common terminology from the Red Book. That one says it as well. It may be what's left of his features on the barber, or her features on the barber face. You've got 1898. No mint mark. So, and then in that same package was a couple of these. These are barber dimes. And there's a 1908, 1909D. You can see the D at the bottom. Pretty large D, actually. And mint mark's rather large on these. All right, guys. First things first is a 57 proof set in a Whitman holder. So there you go. There's a 57. That's a cameo dime. Really quite cameo. And a little bit on the half on the obverse. So pretty interesting stuff there. Another, and this is a 58. 57 and a 58. And then in this lot was also a ton of Buffalo. There's a sheet of them, actually. They are 38Ds all across the entire page. So we've got 5 times 4 of these. What I'm buying. So anyway, guys, this is the next thing, and it looks like we've got some mint sets here. So there is an 80 mint set. No silver in that, but there's about $5 or $4.83, I think, if I remember, in face value on those. So there was a lot of them, a couple lots of them. So we got those. It's an 80. And there's an 81. And there's an 81. That's a 69. So that right there has a 40% silver Kennedy in it. And this is a 69. It says U.S. Mint on the outside by somebody's envelope that they put it in. And this says 60 mint. So it's got some weird junk on the front. And it is in a craft style envelope, but it is not a mint envelope. Oh, the cool thing about this is a 60 mint set. This is actually both Denver and Philadelphia. So what you've got here, this is almost like stuck to the board, so I need to be somewhat careful. And be very careful, actually. See why it's doing this. There we go. So there's a 1960 set. There's the other half of it. There's the Denver. So, you know, you've got $20 right here worth of melt value in silver. Just between the $6 for the half, $3, and $1 for the quarter dime. And you get the other coins basically for free if you pay 20 bucks for something like that. So that's pretty cool. There's the 69. Same type of thing. There's a P&D set in here, but there's only one coin that's got silver in it, and that's the 69D, $half, and it's 40% silver. So you have about $2.50 in silver melt value. There's $3 and another little bit of change. So, you know, $3 in face and melt value. If I can pick that up for around $5, I'll typically do it. There's the 69, same exact thing, right? So there's the 69, D, 40%er. Pretty cool. And I've got a few of these. This with no envelope will probably go up for sale. I'll show you one of each of the 80 and the 81, just to show you what those look like. A little bit newer, but the reason I was talking about the value on them is there is 2 Susan B. Anthony's in each one of these 81 and 80 sets. So there's a Susan B. Anthony dollar. There's actually 3. One each, San Francisco, Denver, and then you've got Philly. So there's $3, and then you got 2 halves. So that's 4, 425, 450, right? 475, 482. So I was off by a penny. But these are, you know, for $5, I mean, they're just collectible, resellable. You make a couple dollars on them pretty easily if you're going to be able to get them for that price. The 80 is the same thing, right? 2 Susan B's, half, another Susan B, another half. So I'll tell you, to be on YouTube, you have to be really good at holding a conversation with yourself. But I think that's why a lot of people go, you know, partner up, right? You get a lot of these guys and gals that are on YouTube and they're doing it with a friend or something. Here's a 68 set. So this, again, this is a proof set, and this has, again, a proof silver half. So the half there is silver. That's a 68 set. The other coins are not, but it's hermetically sealed by the U.S. Mint. And the same thing on the 69. Right, so these things on eBay sell for about, I don't know, $10 or $12 each. So I try to pick them up when I can. If I can get them for, you know, a reasonable amount, I've got a handful of these things. This one sort of has a holder that's fallen apart here, the outer paper, but 70. I think this is rarer than the other two from a mint number standpoint. Not 100% sure on that, but I was able to get 2 of them in this particular auction. There's another one. That one's got a tore up envelope as well. Very poor condition envelope, but the coins are safely stored inside the plastic here, so I know it'll be okay. There's another 69 without anything, any paper on the outside, and another 70. Last but not least, currency. You know, sometimes I see stuff that I think is a good deal because I can get it for close to the face value, and I know that they're very collectible, no longer circulated or obsolete currency. So this is 7 1935 $1 silver certificates. I think what caught my attention on this one is the number of 7s that are in this. It's like almost like a repeater or a very unique, I don't think they call it a radar, I think is when it goes up and then back. And I'm not a currency expert, but I know a little bit, and I think that, you know, these things, they call them fancy, the collectors do, if they've got unique, and so 7474, 7177, pretty unique for a 35, which is an older bill. You know, that is something that may be desirable for more than, you know, the face value of the note. Here's another 35. It's an E. Nothing odd about that one. This one had, you know, a few 9s in it, but nothing odd about that one. It's, again, a 35. This one's even older looking. One of the things you'll notice about these, and this is kind of a cool example, is on the back of the 57, you'll see above the 1, it says, "In God We Trust." Part of the reason I like the 35s is they are advertised as or sell as what are called no mottos, because the "In God We Trust" is not on the top. So, people are so used to seeing that on our currency. Now, this is interesting because this is a 35G, but it would be a later edition because it does have the "In God We Trust" on it. And, it's a pretty folded up and ratty bill, but I don't know that I have a 35 with a motto on it. Maybe I do. And currency is different than coins in another fashion, and that is that they would print the money from the year that's on the front of it forward. So if that was 57, they might have still been printing these, until they came out with, I don't know, a 63 series. And so you could actually have a bill that was printed, a note that was printed in 61, but it said 57 on it. So unlike coins, where that would not be commonplace to do, although it has happened where they've, used a certain die to do that, you end up with some that are newer and older. You can tell by series, you can tell by markings on the bills sometimes if it was, older in the series. Now, this is the same type of thing. It's just a lot of these silver certificates. So, I went ahead and picked them up. They're all 35s, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double check them to make sure that there's no star notes in here, because that's the other thing that you want to look for. Sometimes one gets mixed in. Usually these auction houses are smart to that, and they will catch one and sell it individually. Oh, this is really cool. This is a $5 1929 Bank of Cleveland, and this is when the banks used to issue their own currency. That is a $5 brown seal, as they call it. This also has a brown seal, but that's an emergency note, and that is a wartime note from Hawaii. It's a silver certificate, $1, but you can see the printing on it is all brown on the seal and the serial. Pretty cool. It's also got 4 9s in it, which I don't know if that matters, and then it says Hawaii on the back, and it's also a no motto bill. So this was a series of 35. And then the last thing, not least, $2 first day stamp. So on April 13th, 76, they issued these bills. And so that that it was first in the series, what they did is they put a stamp on it and went to the post office, the United States Post Office. Pretty cool. These are just, I have a few of these, and, if you can get them for like face value with the stamp and the date on there, kind of cool, I would think, a couple hundred years later. I mean, there's a ton of them out there, but, a couple hundred years later, they're going to be worth some money. So, put them in a shoebox and give them to your grandkids or whatever the case might be. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed all of this. You can see, again, got a lot in that box. Be sure to like and subscribe. Till next time, Value Hunter out.